Just double checking to make sure everything got started properly on here. Welcome to our February Purple Chair Chat. We'll give everybody a second to jump on if they would like to. Just to introduce myself, my name is Evelyn and my pronouns are she, hers. I am an education and prevention specialist at Anna's campaign, and this Purple Chair Chat will be focusing on National Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. That takes place in February every year. And today is actually Wear Orange Day in support of teen dating violence. So if you've got some orange, we would love to see it. If you take a picture and tag us at Jana's campaign. I'm wearing mine today. I know I've seen many people wearing orange today, so that is really fantastic. These Purple Chair Chats are live conversations instilling the knowledge, skills, and values necessary to prevent gender and relationship violence. And we use these discussions to try to raise awareness, engage bystanders, promote healthy and respectful relationships, and overall encourage the development of new social norms. Before we start today, I do want to say I'll be discussing some difficult topics regarding gender and relationship violence. They might be overwhelming or triggering for some people, so please do whatever you need to take care of yourself. That is the most important thing. If you are in need of resources or services, but you might not know who your local advocates are, please reach out to us. We'll do our best to put you in contact with the right people to help you. And there will be many resources linked in the comment section of this video as well, especially a couple of specific teen dating violence resources down there. So don't forget to check those out while you watch. One more thing before we jump in, there are multiple resources that I've used in today's Purple Chair Chat content, so we want to give credit and cite their work. They include loveisrespect.org, Centers for Disease Control, NCADV, Futures Without Violence, the Tween and Teen Dating Violence and Abuse Study, and teendvmonth.org. Okay, starting off, always an important question. Why is this topic important to talk about? Teen dating violence is something that affects millions of young people, and if we can talk about it, if we can educate adults and teens alike about how prevalent it really is, what the red flags are, how to get help, then we can not only help lessen relationship violence for people in their adolescence, but we can further put an end to adult gender-based violence and domestic violence as well. 1 in 3 teenagers, which is nearly 1.5 million, in a romantic relationship admits to being in an unhealthy relationship. And the younger they are when we get to have these conversations with them, the more impact it's going to have, because what we know is 1 in 5 tweens, so ages 11 to 14, say that their friends are victims of dating violence, and nearly half who are in relationships know friends who are being verbally abused at the very least. Nearly 1 in 4 teens have been victimized through technology, and nearly 1 in 2 teens in relationships report being controlled, threatened, and pressured to do things that they really didn't want to do. About 1 in 12 high school students have experienced physical violence by someone they were dating, and nearly 1 in 12 high school students have experienced sexual dating violence. So when we really stop to think about those numbers, 1 in 12, 1 in 4, 1 in 2. Again, it just goes to show why we need to talk about this and keep shedding light on this issue as much as we possibly can. But what is teen dating violence? Teen dating violence is an adverse childhood experience, or ACE, which they're potentially traumatic events that occur before the child reaches the age of 18. And these experiences can interfere with a person's health, their opportunities, their stability throughout a person's lifetime. It can even affect future generations as well. Teen dating violence includes physical, psychological, sexual abuse, harassment, or stalking of a person ages 12 to 18 in the context of a past or present romantic or consensual friendship. So that's kind of the official definition for it, right? But it can take place in person, online, through technology. Teen dating violence typically includes the following types of behavior. So let's break it down really quickly. Physical violence is when a person hurts or tries to hurt a partner by hitting, kicking, or using another type of physical force. Sexual violence is forcing or attempting to force a partner to take place in a sex act and or sexual touching when the partner does not or cannot consent. It also includes non-physical sexual behaviors like posting or sharing sexual pictures of a partner, again without their consent, or sexting someone without their consent. The third psychological aggression is the use of verbal and nonverbal communication with the intent to harm a partner, mentally or emotionally, and or exert control over a partner. And then finally, stalking is a pattern of repeated, unwanted attention and contact by a partner that causes fear or concern for one's own safety or the safety of someone close to the victim. And here are a few more of those warning signs of an unhealthy or abusive relationship besides the physical aspect of hitting, kicking, slapping, those kinds of things that are more visible on the outside. So some other warning signs include trying to stop a person from spending time with their friends or family, i.e. taking people away from those other really supportive relationships in their life. Things like put downs, so calling a person derogatory names or saying you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough, you're not good enough, those kinds of things over and over again. If they threaten a person in some way, so say if you do this, then this will happen, or if they say if you do this, then I'm gonna do this to you, right? Like there will be consequences. They might humiliate a person either when they're alone or when they're in public in front of others as well. And they might be very controlling, so controlling what a person wears, what they eat, who they talk to, etc. You'll notice that power and control is a pretty consistent theme when it comes to unhealthy relationships and relationship abuse. Moving on slightly to dive deeper into ACEs, like I mentioned earlier. Now, there's so much that we could talk about when it comes to adverse childhood experiences, but today we're going to condense it down to talking about its connection to teen dating violence specifically. So the CDC and Kaiser Permanente Adverse Childhood Experiences Study was this groundbreaking public health study that discovered childhood trauma leads to the adult onset of chronic diseases like depression, other mental illnesses, violence, being a victim of violence, as well as financial and social problems too. Essentially, the ACE study is a test that can be taken by anyone. And if you've never taken it, I highly recommend that you do, just because it can help you learn more about yourself. The test is comprised of 10 questions that go through and ask things like, before the age of 18, did you experience ... And again, it's before the age of 18 because we're talking about childhood experiences. So before the age of 18, did you experience physical, sexual, and verbal abuse? Another question, did you experience a family member who was depressed or diagnosed with another mental illness? A family member who was addicted to alcohol or other substances? Did you witness domestic violence in the house? Did you lose a parent to separation or divorce? Those kinds of questions. And for every question that someone answers in the affirmative or saying that they did experience it, that is 1 point towards their total ACE score. And then from that ACE score, we are able to know and predict so many things about someone's overall health later on in their life. The short and long-term outcomes of these childhood exposures include a multitude of health and social problems, but just to name a few: alcoholism and alcohol abuse, illicit drug use, lung cancer, migraines, smoking, suicide attempts, adolescent pregnancy, as well as a risk for intimate partner violence, both being a victim of intimate partner violence and being the perpetrator of that violence. In fact, 5 out of the 10 leading causes of death are associated with ACEs. So here's what we know and how it connects to teen dating violence. Teen dating violence and witnessing domestic violence in the home, those are adverse childhood experiences, and those further perpetrate the risk for depression, suicide, alcohol, illicit drug use, and intimate partner violence in adolescent and adult years. And actually, for those with high ACE scores, gender-based violence may be this maladaptive coping strategy that they use. So again, this is such an interesting information that we can make tons of interpretations with, not just with teen dating violence, but it definitely is a contributing factor, and just goes to show that it truly is all connected. So what can we do to stop teen dating violence before it starts, before it has a chance to get to that place? Number one, supporting the development of healthy, respectful, nonviolent relationships that has the potential to reduce the occurrence of teen dating violence and prevent its harmful, long-lasting effects. During the preteen and teen years, it is critical for youth to begin learning the skills needed to create and maintain these healthy relationships. Skills like knowing how to manage their feelings and express their feelings, knowing how to communicate in a healthy and effective way, which is not only what we do at Jana's campaign, but it's what you can do as well. For example, if you're a parent or a friend to someone in a relationship, you can help by having conversations and helping them recognize their self-worth and what's acceptable versus not acceptable in relationships. So asking questions like, what do you like most about yourself? Why is it important to respect yourself? How can you give respect to yourself? And telling them things like, you deserve to be treated with respect. You have the right to make decisions that keep you safe, that keep you healthy and comfortable. Saying, you're someone that I love and respect. And telling them to trust themselves and their instincts on what they know is safe, appropriate, and respectful. You can talk about boundaries as well. So ask questions like, well, what are some examples of saying or doing something that crosses your personal boundaries? Or when does playing or teasing become too much and it's no longer fun? That's a great one to ask, especially for younger children. Asking, what can you say? What can you do to communicate your personal boundaries? Just get that conversation going and make sure they know they have a safe space and a person to turn to in you. We at Jana's campaign are dedicated to helping middle and high schools, youth organizations, and communities reduce gender and relationship violence by promoting these healthy relationship behaviors to ultimately create a culture of strong respect among adolescents. And we utilize prevention programs, including curricular and co-curricular activities, to raise awareness of the underlying causes by highlighting those red flags of dating relationships. Education about self-awareness, social awareness, problem-solving, decision-making, all of those skills that are the foundation to student success, both in school and for the rest of their lives. Speaking of that, we would love to work with your school and your students this year. We can provide our violence prevention education programs virtually through live or on-demand webinars, or visit your school for in-person presentations as well. Our team of prevention educators will work to create an individualized teen gender violence prevention plan that will best meet your specific needs. Another thing you can do to raise awareness is check out our Jana's Campaign Awareness Month Toolkit, where we have compiled several statistics, materials, resources, and activity ideas on teen dating violence in our Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month kit. You can find this free resource on our website at www.janascampaign.org/awareness-toolkits. We also post on Facebook and Instagram with educational memes about the issue of teen dating violence, so please share these with your friends to help raise that awareness. And in wrapping up today, what to do if you or someone you know is experiencing teen dating violence. Contact an advocate or create a safety plan. loveisrespect.org has some fantastic articles and step-by-step guides on how to make a safety plan that works best for you or someone that you know. And you can always, again, go to a domestic violence agency and speak with one of their advocates, and they will be able to help you with a safety plan as well. Number 2, believe and validate the victim that is sharing their story and their experiences. A study found, they focused on adults and their view of teen dating violence. They found that 81% of parents surveyed either believe teen dating violence is not an issue, or they admit they don't know if it's an issue. So one of the best things that you can do if you have a child or a young person who is coming to you saying they are experiencing these things is to take it seriously and not push it to the side, but really be there for them. You should focus on the offender's actions, not the victim's response, because we never want to victim blame. Even if there's something that you would have done differently or in a different way that you would have approached the situation, it's never the victim's fault, especially when someone is young and this might be their first relationship ever and they're learning to navigate everything for the first time. We can't put the pressure on them of saying that they should have done something another way. Encourage them to seek help from their local domestic violence agency and continue to check in and just be a source of support for them whenever they're ready. All right. Well, as we finish today, again, we always appreciate you joining us for these monthly Purple Chair chats and love being able to have live conversations, instilling the knowledge, skills, and values necessary to prevent gender and relationship violence. We hope you were able to learn something today that maybe you didn't already know about teen dating violence. And as always, if you're in need of resources or services and you don't know who your local advocates are, please reach out to us. We'll do our best to put you in contact with those right people. Thanks so much, everybody.